What's up, guys? So what is the difference exactly between wholesaling and wholetailing, and what exactly does that even mean? Hey, what's up, YouTube? My name is Graylan Stewart. I'm a virtual wholesaler, entrepreneur, and I'm going to talk to you today about wholesaling versus wholetailing and what that really means, what that term means, and what it means to your bottom line as well. So obviously my channel is all about wholesaling, telling you the truths about wholesaling and what we do in the everyday business. Because we do wholesale full time. I've been doing it full time since the end of 2018. And I pretty much started full time as soon as I started. But anyways, I quickly got into wholetailing like in my second month, basically because I had a really good deal that buyers didn't want to pay my price for. So I took it down myself. So anyways, let's get into wholesaling versus wholetailing. So obviously wholesaling, you probably already know what that means. You probably know what they both mean, but I'm going to explain them in detail so you kind of get a bigger picture, especially if you're new to wholesaling in general. So anyways, wholesaling is obviously you getting a contract with a seller at a big discount. So you have a contract, and then you in turn sell this contract to a cash buyer that's actually going to bring the money to the table to close on the property. So that's just a typical wholesale deal. Now, how you actually do wholesaling, watch my channel and you'll find out, because I've done tons of different videos all about wholesaling. But that's typically, in a nutshell, that's what wholesaling is. You buy a property at a discount, so you have your piece of contract, your piece of paper that you actually sell to an end buyer that has the cash to actually close on that property. So wholesaling is basically no money out of your pocket, no risk on your part, and it's really no credit checks, nothing like that. All you have to do is be a decent salesperson, try to find a distressed homeowner that you can get their property at a discount, and then you search for a buyer to take your place in that contract to where they actually close on the property and you get the fee in the middle. So you're the middleman in wholesaling, okay? So basically you brought the contract to the end buyer and you got paid a fee right in the middle for doing so, okay? Now that's a traditional wholesale deal, which we've all done or hope to do one day, right? And that's what my main business model is wholesaling. That's our number one priority and our number one exit strategy is wholesaling. But all these other things come into play. Once you start doing more deals, you'll end up doing wholetailing. You'll end up doing some fix and flips. You'll definitely want to do some buy and holds, because that's how you can create wealth for the long term. But wholesaling will always be my number one, because that brings huge cash flow every month. And that cash flow pays for all the other things, not only my lifestyle, but also pays for the flips that we do, pays for the rentals that we keep. So, but wholetailing now, so that's a little different. So the reason that term is hotel, which sounds like a hotel that you stay at, but it's not that. It's spelled just like wholesale, but it's whole with a tail, T-A-I-L. It's that way because you're wholesaling for retail, okay? So what does that mean exactly? So this term actually means different things to different people. So I'll explain the different versions of wholetailing, and then you can decide for yourself what it really means. But to me, a true wholetail means you get the discounted property with the seller, so you have your piece of contract. You don't end up finding a cash buyer because you become your own cash buyer. So you actually close on the property yourself, and then you immediately start marketing that property on the MLS, which has the most buyers in the world, obviously, because it's the multiple listing service that realtors use, okay? So what makes a good hotel is typically the house usually doesn't need tons of work. It might need a lot of work, but it shows a little bit better than like a hoarder house would show, or a house with holes in the roof, or a fire burn house or things like that. But I have hoteled all of those as well. But the easiest hotels are the ones that actually look pretty decent, that you might just need to put lipstick on a pig, for lack of better terms, to where it really just needs like carpet and paint, maybe some minor things. But usually, so a hotel to me is I got the discounted property. I actually close on that property myself with cash or hard money or private money or my line of credit, whatever you use. None of that matters. It's irrelevant. But the fact is, you close on the house, and then you're just doing really a quick cleanup at best. Usually, what I do on my hotels, I just clean it up a little bit to where it shows a little bit nicer than it did before, and then we put it on the MLS right away. So why do I hotel? The reason I hotel is because typically I can get more money out of it. If it's a really good deal and it's a clean property, I can always get more on the MLS. So if you have the money, or if you have the means to close on it rather, you should always do that if it's a good looking property, because you can make more money on the back end. Now another reason I hotel is out of necessity. So let's just say it's a really skinny deal. So that's a good opportunity to hotel as well. So let's just say the property is worth 100 grand. Maybe it only needs 10 in work, but you got it for 65,000 or 70,000, and your buyer wants to be all in at 75 in this scenario, but they know they need to buy, put 10 into it. So you just don't have buyers willing to pay you a $10,000 fee because it's such a skinny deal. But at the same time, that deal is still a good discount for you to close on it and sell it, because you can still make a quick 20 grand probably on a hotel, which is way better than breaking even or making nothing on a wholesale or backing out of the contract. So I do hotel out of necessity sometimes, but the best wholesale deals are those big fat juicy that maybe I can make $20,000-$30,000 on a wholesale. Why not actually take that deal down, clean it up a little bit, and make 40 or 50 on a hotel where I didn't even rehab the property? You really just cleaned it up a little bit. And sometimes I don't touch them at all. I've done that before too. We just did one last week that was a fire damage property. We got the property, it's probably worth 80 to 90, maybe pushing it, probably 75 to some people. So let's just say 75. We got the deal for 15, but it's a completely fire damage house, so it probably needs a good 40,000 in work. So we were trying to sell it for 35. Obviously, no cash buyers were even having it. We did try to wholesale it first. Our best offer was actually 15, right where we got the deal at. So obviously, we're not going to break even, and we're not going to give up the deal because we know it's still a good deal. If somebody puts 40 into it and they buy it for 30, 35, they're in it for 40, 50, 60, 75. But, appreciating the way the market is, maybe they still have a good 10 or so in equity. So it's beneficial to someone on the retail market to buy that. And it was a push. I listed it high, just hoping to get 35. And in all reality, was just hoping maybe we could actually end up getting 25 to 30. But anyways, we actually did sell that property for 35. Obviously, there's closing costs involved and that kind of thing, but we still netted probably 18,600, somewhere in that ballpark. So it was still a slam dunk, in my opinion. We would have made $0 to maybe a couple $1,000s wholesaling it, but taking it down ourselves and putting it on the retail market allowed us to make 18,600. So that's a win in my book. So I have done properties where I don't touch them at all. But anyways, there's also wholetails that people do. They call wholetails, but really they're just kind of light rehab fix and flips is what I really call them, because I do those as well. To me, that's the one that needs lipstick on the pig type of deal. Because if you're willing to actually take it down, why not spend another 10 grand to go ahead and paint it and put new flooring, or 15, whatever that might cost, depending on the house size and depending on your market. So that's kind of my respect, my outlook on it. If I'm going to take it down, why make a quick 20 by just listing it as is after cleaning it up? If I could just paint it and put new flooring in it, and it only takes me a week and a half or 2 weeks maybe, and I can relist it and maybe make 30, 35, even 40 on that, then I'm going to do that all day. So to me, that's kind of like a prehab or a light remodel, if you want to say it that way. It's not really a hotel. I know some people call that hotel, but to me, you actually fixed and flipped it. You just did a really light rehab. But either way, that's a win either way, because that's the same scenario. Some deals just don't make sense to wholesale because there's such a tight margin in there, or some deals are just way too good to wholesale, so you want to hotel those too. But at the end of the day, wholesaling is definitely way more profitable, but it does take a little more time, because there is more work involved. That's why our first goal is to ultimately wholesale it. Unless I can double my fee typically, then I will wholesale it. But if I can at least make double what I would have made wholesaling it, then I don't even bother, because I just rather make a quick nickel than a slow dime. Even though wholesaling is definitely faster than flipping it, but still there is that time involved and headache of running all that, the logistics of that as well. But so that's wholesale versus hotel. You make a decision what you like better. But you know, and I do know people that all they do is hotel. They close on every single property and then put them in the MLS and sell them. Sometimes they only make a couple grand. Sometimes they make slam dunks, 50, 80 grand. You know, there's people out there that they just hotel only. Obviously, you got to have a lot of money, or a lot of money behind you at least, in hard money or private money or lines of credit with your bank or whatever. But nevertheless, you know, there are companies out there that just hotel exclusively. I know a couple of them. But you know, my model is wholesaling. That's the easiest. That's the least abrasive. That's the least risk. There's no money involved. You know, it's just a lot easier and smoother transaction. So I only wholesale if I can really make a big profit, or if it's just a skinny deal. For example, we're actually wholetailing a property we just got recently, and it's a real slim margin because the property is worth 180 to 200. We got the deal for 110. Most offers were coming in at 100,000, 105 on one offer, but nothing even at our ask, you know, at what we even bought it for. So we would lose money if we wholesaled it, but we're actually taking it down. Got a private money lender willing to take it down for me, only charging me 5% interest, no points up front. So it's worth it to me because in this scenario, I can literally, because I can just resand the natural hardwood floors that it already has, and then paint the inside and outside. And I can do all that in this house because it's only about 1,100 square feet. And in this particular market, I can do that for about 11 to 12,000 total. So I'll be in it after closing. And actually, I did talk the seller down to 105. So buying it at 105, I'd probably be all in at 115, and I can probably sell that. And of course, it's not going to be full rehab because I'm not doing a ton to it, but I could probably still sell that for 150 to 160 just as it is. So why not make, you know, after all expenses, probably 20 to 30 grand as opposed to breaking even or backing out of the deal. So anyways, that's my 2 cents on wholesale versus hotel. If you have the money, wholesaling is awesome. And if you don't have a ton of deals, but really to get volume and to move fast and to do scale, wholesaling is the way to go in my opinion. But if you just want to do a couple deals a month and just hotel only, you can definitely do massive numbers just wholesaling a couple every month. So anyways, it's kind of whatever your risk tolerance is and whatever your kind of end goal is as far as financial and business wise. So anyway, hopefully this information was beneficial. Hopefully it all made sense. Please drop a comment if it all made sense, or if you have other ideas, or if there's other videos that you even want me to make. I'd love to do that for you. I do take requests, you know, because I've got a big list of videos that I know I'm already making, but I'm also adding to that list from different requests from different people messaging me or whatever about different videos that they want me to do. So I will do that as well. I just want to give you as much value as possible, tell you the truths and all of wholesaling, how you can make money at it, and we can all grow together. So anyways, please like this video, definitely subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in future videos. Thanks a lot.